I grew up on the Grange estate.
And what was it like growing up there?
Well, we just thought it was normal. We were just all kids living on the same estate. I guess it was quite tough. People used to say, "Where do you live?" And if we said the Grange estate, they'd be like, "Oh, all scared." But we never noticed any of the dangers that were there because we lived there. It was part of what we did, and everybody there always protected us. You know, we never had any bother there. Yeah.
And what was your parents like?
Well, they were obviously both Irish. It was quite tough. There were 6 of us in the family. Dad was a bit of a gambler, so sometimes, Friday night would come and we'd all be looking at each other thinking, where's Dad? And Dad didn't turn up, and then we knew we'd be going down the road to see if Auntie Kitty had any money for the week to get us food. And yeah, often Friday nights were a hungry night because there was nothing to eat. Mum did best she could. She used to go out cleaning and everything, to make extra money. And sometimes we used to have to sit on the wall outside when we were much younger. We'd have to sit on the wall outside the house she was cleaning, waiting for her to finish, because they didn't want us in the house. Because it was all rich people's houses on sort of Littleston Road, which is like down by Bishop's Avenue and all that, all in that area. And obviously they weren't going to have like kids off the Grange estate in their houses while their mother was cleaning. But yeah, we got by. It was tough. But yeah, we all supported each other and just got by.
And where did you meet my dad?
I met him at work.
You got to say I met your dad.
I met your dad at work when we were working in Clark's Bakeries, which is right next to where the local youth club used to be, the Wilmot. Lots of people know the Wilmot. It was a bit of a what's the word for it? When it's a place where everybody goes. So so I met him at work. I was only 17, and yeah, that was that really.
And then what was it like bringing us up?
Bringing you up was hard because there was 4 of you, obviously. Dad always worked, I always worked. I'd do things like, obviously when you were little I couldn't go out to work, and I chose not to go out to work because I wanted to be with you lot. But I used to do things like look after other people's kids. At one point I used to get other people's ironing, do the ironing for people. I'd do anything really just to make sure that I had enough money to give you kids the best I could. It was hard. It was hard. But that's what we did.
So Bapu. So when did you first come to London?
When I first come to London, in 1966, October.
And why did you come here?
Why did I come here? It's a big question, this one. But first of all, at the university, I was working with English Army for 1954, 1954. And then I got as a welder in the railway base as in Nigeria. Then from there I start the job very fine. Everybody was very pleased with me. And then I stood till the last minute, somebody warning me they're gonna kill me because of the trouble in Cyprus.
Tell me what it was like growing up.
Growing up was a lot of fun. We all grow up as brothers and sisters, but you were always my little special one. I used to change your nappy and run around and play with you all the time, feed you. The worst memory was going to Cyprus when we had to leave you. The best day was coming back and seeing you all again. When we lived together, that was quite hard with watching Simpsons 24/7. But it was fun when we used to sleep downstairs all together in the same room because we wouldn't leave each other. And we made our mums hide the snakes that were wrapped around this wrap thing because otherwise we'd have nightmares. We used to go to the snooker shed a lot. Oh, when we were little, we used to sneak under the table and tie the men's shoelaces together. Go upstairs and jump on Yaya's bed and get shouted at because the light was swinging everywhere. As we got older and they got the snooker shed, we used to... First there was actual drink in the snooker shed, and then I think they realised we were drinking it all, so they removed it. We then, so then what we used to do was sneak into the kitchen, sneak bottles of drink up our sleeves and run up to the snooker shed and get drunk and hide the empty bottles under the table. Then, well...
What about Poplar Grove?
Poplar Groves, we used to rake the streets, winding everyone up, just running around being nightmares, little nightmares in the park. When you went for a dodgy time, and you needed me, it was the only night I have ever turned my phone off, and I felt so guilty since that I would never turn my phone off again overnight. I forgot now.
What about the 263 bus?
263 bus. Before your mum and my mum started driving, we used to sit on the back of the bus, swing and make loads of noise because we'd be up on our knees looking out the back window.
You can't keep saying help, though, because you're being filmed now, so it's kind of redundant. What else? Tell me about our parents.
Our parents, your mum was my mum and my mum was your mum. The dads were always strict and bossy and shouting a lot, but the mums were the best, and it didn't matter what happened, we could always go to one of them.
What about when you ran away?
When I ran away, we lived in Avenue Road, and I was so scared to come home because I was late and I knew my dad would be home, that I decided I wasn't coming home. Eventually, obviously, I was made to come home. My dad was really angry and wouldn't let me have anything to eat, and your mum was going, but she hasn't eaten all day, Chris. And she actually snuck toast up to the bedroom for me so I wouldn't starve.
Tell me what it was like for us growing up, Nick.
Okay. Shit and chips. No, it was alright.
Is there more than that?
Oh, what more?
What was Poplar Grove like?
Poplar Grove was fun. I remember crying a lot when we left the estate, thinking I'd never see people again, and guess what? I didn't. So that was I used to remember playing football with all these Asians on the estate because they nicked my ball, and Christella and Taryn nicked the ball and wrote our names all over it and made that it was our ball. That was fun because we won, but we cheated to win, and I don't even think the ball was mine. Well, I don't know, it was good.
What about Avenue Road?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, especially with all of us living there. And at a weekend having to go, I remember being allowed to sleep downstairs at the weekend because you wasn't allowed to sleep downstairs during the week. And then we thought the place was haunted. And I remember when Mum and Auntie Sue found a rat in the downstairs toilet and shit themselves, because that's where they kept all the food. obviously there's going to be a rat there, isn't it?
What
And running away was quite a epic moment. Yeah. I remember finding a letter years later actually that she wrote because she was a slag. I'm joking.
Why was she run away? Is that when she was pregnant?
No. No, that was quite. I was running around in the box, down that cooey, because that was our secret code. Yep.